Finally got him, and they didn't just arrest him, they turned it into a full-blown global spectacle. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, and the images coming out of Indonesia have sent massive shockwaves through the Glasgow underworld. Steph Lyons, the man authorities call the mastermind of Scotland's most dominant and violent crime firm, was paraded earlier today at the Bali police headquarters in Denpasar. He was wearing that bright orange prisoner jumpsuit, a face mask, and his hands were bound in cable ties. He looked like a man who finally realized his 20-year run was hitting a dead end. Lyons was intercepted at the arrivals gate of Ngurah Rai International Airport on Saturday. He had just stepped off a flight from Singapore, dressed in simple green shorts and a black t-shirt. For a man used to private jets and high-end security, it was a modest end. But he wasn't alone. Indonesian police have confirmed they are hunting for two associates who arrived with him but managed to vanish into the crowd while the officers were focused on the big fish. As we speak, those two are currently hiding out on the island, likely trying to find a way to vanish before the local authorities close the ports. The real hammer blow happened 4,000 miles away in Dubai. While Steph was in the air, the Dubai police were kicking in the door of the couple's luxury flat. His partner, Amanda Lyons, was arrested in Dubai just yesterday. For years, Dubai was the untouchable fortress for the Lyons firm, the place where they could manage the books and live like kings with zero fear of extradition. But the UAE has officially stopped playing ball. They are rounding up high-profile figures and handing them over to European authorities. To understand how we got here, we have to look at the technology that actually killed the firm. For years, these groups thought they were invisible because of encrypted phone networks like EncroChat and Sky ECC. These were specialized handsets that cost thousands of pounds, with no GPS, no camera, and an emergency wipe code. The criminals talked openly about shipments, hits, and money laundering, thinking the police were blind. But they were wrong. European authorities managed to infiltrate the EncroChat servers back in 2020, and Sky ECC followed shortly after. They didn't just listen, they harvested millions of messages, photos of cash being counted, and voice notes. They saw the exact coordinates of the drug shipments. They saw the photos of the cash being counted. They even saw the blueprints for the villas being bought with the profits. Following the fall of EncroChat, the firm moved to Sky ECC, thinking it was even more secure. But investigators analyzed large volumes of data to identify key players and expose how the network operated across borders. This investigation, coordinated by Europol and Eurojust, has been combing through these ghost messages for years, slowly building the map that led to today's arrests. They were able to track the group's movements from Spain to the UAE, and eventually, to that airport gate in Bali. Now, let's look at the domestic side of this, Operation Portaledge. This wasn't just a simple drugs bust, it was a surgical, multi-year execution that began in response to a gang war that ignited in 2025. Last Friday morning at 4:30 a.m., specialist detectives hit 13 addresses across Scotland. We're talking about dawn raids in Bellshill, Cumbernauld, Gartcosh, Whitburn, Caldercrew, and Coatbridge. At the exact same second as the Scottish raids, the Spanish Guardia Civil were kicking in doors in Malaga and Barcelona. 5 suspects were snatched in Spain alone. The authorities are saying this network moved hundreds of kilograms of cocaine into Scotland using fictitious companies, legitimate-looking fronts used to launder the cash through the international banking system. The police didn't just find drugs, they found the real estate. In Turkey, authorities seized 2 massive plots of land and a luxury villa worth over €600,000. They've frozen company shares and blocked the movement of millions of pounds in criminal profits. This shows you the level this firm was operating at. They weren't just street dealers. They were international property developers using drug money to build an empire. Interpol has revealed that this one firm operated in a staggering list of countries: Spain, Scotland, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, and Turkey. They built an international money laundering network designed to hide the proceeds of serious crime, feeding it back into a criminal enterprise that controlled territory through intimidation and violence. People are asking if the firm is dead, but if you live in the scheme, you know it's never that simple. The Lyons family roots go back decades in Milton and Postle Park. While the CEO is facing a Spanish jail cell, there are still senior figures, the uncles, and the street-level crew who are still out there. These are people who have seen bosses come and go, but the difference now is that the police have the entire map of the organization. The rumor on the street is that the loyalty is starting to fade. When you see the boss's partner in a cell and the boss himself in an orange jumpsuit, the foot soldiers start looking for a way out. The code of silence is being tested like never before because the jail sentences being handed out these days are 20 to 30 years. Back in Glasgow, the reaction has been intense. This feud has been running since 2001, sparked by a stolen cocaine shipment, and it has led to shootings and violence across the city for over 20 years. From the 2006 Lamb Hill garage shooting to the murder of Kevin Gerbil Carroll in 2010, the blood has never stopped flowing. By taking out the leadership in Spain and Dubai, and now snatching the head of the firm in Bali, the authorities are trying to break the back of the entire business model. They are calling this a decapitation of a violent network that used retaliation to maintain control over parts of the United Kingdom. So, what is the timeline from here? Indonesian authorities have just confirmed that Steph Lyons is being deported to Spain tomorrow, Wednesday. He won't be seeing a Scottish jail for a long time. He's headed for a high-security wing in Spain to answer for international drug trafficking and that €7 million money laundering ring. The hunt for those 2 associates who escaped in Bali is still ongoing, and the landscape of organized crime in Scotland has just shifted forever. This is a story that involves Scotland, Spain, Dubai, Turkey, and Indonesia, a global network that just got smaller. I'll be tracking every court appearance and every update as this goes to trial. Subscribe and hit the bell for the next chapter of the Portaledge Files.